What's up everybody, welcome back to HollowKnowsHoops. Eurobasket 2025 just wrapped up and man, what a tournament. We had clutch performances, breakout stars, underdog stories and even a couple shocks that will reshape how we think about international basketball moving forward. So today we're breaking down the top 10 things we learnt from Eurobasket 2025 plus one bonus takeaway you don't want to miss. Let's get into it. First up, this era of German basketball is officially the successor to Spain's European dynasty. Think about it, bronze at Eurobasket 2022, gold at the 2023 World Cup, 4th place at the 2024 Olympics, and now gold again at Eurobasket 2025. And the scary part is that much of this squad is still young. Dennis Schroeder, Franz Wagner, Isaac Bonga, and Andy Obst, and many others have plenty left in the tank. Germany's going into the next international cycle, World Cup, Olympics, Eurobasket, as a top contender for everything. Spain has passed the torch and Germany grabbed it with both hands. Mikka Muurinen is the real deal. Finland shocked everyone with their semi-final run, and Mikka Muurinen was a huge reason why. At just 18, he's already flashing ridiculous athleticism, length, defensive instincts, and even a touch around the rim. People are already whispering, could he be the number one pick in the 2027 NBA draft? If he keeps developing this way, don't be surprised. This was the tournament where Europe and the NBA world officially took notice of this rising star. One of the biggest what-ifs of this tournament has to be the Bogdan Bogdanović injury. Serbia felt his absence in every way. For a decade he's been one of the most underrated guards in basketball, a free-level scorer, a secondary playmaker, a defender who competes, and most importantly a guy who can completely take over in the clutch. Without him, Serbia lost their edge, their closer. It showed us just how valuable Bogdan really is and maybe made fans appreciate his greatness a little more. At least that's what I hope. Even this far into this period where Europeans have been competing in the NBA and actually being some of the top players in the NBA for a long while, I still think European players deserve more NBA shots. This Eurobasket was a showcase of the NBA level talent hiding in plain sight. I want to highlight 3 players. Isaac Bonga, defensive player of the tournament, finals MVP, locking down everyone, hitting his shots, flashing athleticism, and he's still just 25. Jordan Lloyd, a straight flamethrower for Poland, the only non-NBA guy in the top 10 scorers, and Rokas Jokubaitis led the entire tournament in assists per game, and his injury, much like Bogdanovic's injury, is a massive what-if to this tournament and possibly influenced how far Lithuania could have gone. The NBA needs to start giving more Europeans a first chance, or for some of these guys a second chance. There's too much talent here to ignore. The entire continent has leveled up. Here's the thing, it's not just the top dogs anymore. European basketball has leveled up across the board. Sweden, Estonia, Portugal, Finland, Georgia, Poland, Bosnia. These are not historically basketball powerhouses, but all of them showed up in this tournament. They all competed, they had fan bases travelling with them, and they looked legit. We're no longer in an era where only 5 or 6 countries matter. This growth means every Eurobasket game is now becoming a must-watch. Dennis Schroeder deserves his flowers. Schroeder is still underrated, period. For over a decade he's been one of the top 10 pick and roll players in the world. He's proven he can run an offense, he can lead in big games, and he just keeps adding to his resume. At this point he deserves more opportunity in the NBA as a lead guard, and honestly with his international success, his longevity and his impact, I think Dennis Schroeder is headed for the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I said it. Let's talk NBA ripple effects. Valančiūnas to the Nuggets is massive. Jonas Valančiūnas to Denver is not getting nearly enough attention. In this Eurobasket, Jonas proved he's not just a rebounder, he's still got a real offensive bag, can pass out of the post and can punish defenses. Now imagine him next to Jokic. With the league trending towards more double big lineups, Denver having both on the floor at times is going to be impossible to guard. That move puts them right back as title favourites alongside OKC. Alperen Şengün is ready to become a true offensive hub in basketball, the likes of which only Sabonis and Jokic have recently shown. Alperen Şengün absolutely balled out, scoring efficiently, making plays out of the post. He showed he can be an offensive hub at an all-time great standard for his position. If Houston actually builds their offense around him next season and gives him consistent post touches, don't be surprised if Şengün finishes top 10 in MVP voting and the Houston Rockets contend for a title. That's how good he looked. The only thing holding him back right now is experience, and he'll get plenty of that. We can't just talk about positives the entire video, so I'm gonna flip it on its head. Spain's fall off is real. For the first time since the 1970s they didn't make it out of the group stage. They've had to lean on teenagers because of the talent gap, and the results showed that. Looking at the pipeline, Spain might not be back as a top tier basketball nation for the next cycle. After nearly 2 decades of dominance, that's going to be a huge shift to adjust to, and it's pretty crazy to see. Now, let's go back to the NBA again quickly. I think the Celtics could be sneaky dangerous next season. Neemias Queta impressed in this Eurobasket and could have a bigger role. Finals MVP Jaylen Brown looks ready to embrace being the first option, and the foundation of guys like Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, they're still there. Don't be surprised if Boston makes another deep run. This team might be even better than people think, for real. And here's the bonus take. The next cycle of international tournaments will be absolutely must watch. Eurobasket 2025 showed us how much talent Europe has, but a lot of teams still haven't even introduced their next generation. Germany, France, Turkey, Greece, Lithuania, Finland, Serbia, maybe even Spain, Latvia, Italy, all will be competitive in this next cycle. Add in teams from all over the world such as USA, Canada, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, Japan, South Sudan. The 2027 World Cup, 2028 Olympics and 2029 Eurobasket are going to be insane. This is a golden era of basketball, and any true fan of the sport will be tuning in for these tournaments. So there you have it, in my opinion, the 10 biggest lessons from Eurobasket 2025 plus a bonus for the future. Germany's dynasty, Şengün's rise, Bogdan's absence, Spain's fall, Queta's Celtics and everything in between. This tournament reminded us why we love this game. What do you think? Which of these takeaways do you agree with? Which ones do you think I got wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I will read them all. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss future breakdowns. This has been HollowKnowsHoops. Thanks for watching, keep loving the game, and I'll see you in the next one.